I was thinking lately on why Canon removed the 24p from their newly released cameras, starting from the EOS RP, 90D and the G7X Mark III. And I think I might have an explanation. Stay tuned. What's up everyone and welcome to my channel. I've been recently trying to find a reasonable answer or a logical answer about why Canon they removed the 24p out of their cameras. Despite that 24p is a must to be in a camera or 24p is very important thing to have or not. Just thinking of what is the reason behind removing 24p, which is considered the cheapest frame rate that you can start with on any camera. And the cinema industry, since they stick to this frame rate till today, not because of the cinematic look only, it's just because it is cheap to use, whether in storage, in editing, in time in general. So it is the cheapest option to use to make a movie. Thinking of a camera that shoots video without 24p, it's something a bit annoying, something unrealistic, non-reasonable, whatever. I was checking in the internet and trying to find a reasonable answer or a logical answer of why Canon they did that. And the theory in the internet is going two sides. The first theory that the 24p costs Canon some kind of license fees which they need to pay on each and every unit they distribute within the 24p, which as explained might increase the price of the camera itself and made it over $1,000 price range that Canon desire to have those cameras within this $1,000 price range. The other thing that Canon, as usual, trying to cripple their cameras to push people to buy the higher ones. They will not give you a good price camera with all the features that you're looking for. You have to lose something. Those are the two things which is roaming around the internet today. But to be honest, after lots of thinking and trying to look at it from a different perspective or different angle, I come out with my own theory as well, which I'm thinking that Canon, being in this business for a long time, having lots of customers and lots of camera users from Canon, being number one in the camera sales for a long time since digital cameras launched, I was thinking that maybe they are looking for the future. Let me explain that in a different way. If you look at today's videos which is being shared by people on social media, and with the new generation who's raised on social media, watching and sharing and being part of the world community, the majority of the videos which is being shared by people on social media has been shot on smartphones. And the technology of the smartphones are evolving, and also video capabilities apart from photos. That makes me think that this coming generation who's born, raised, watching social media since the beginning of their lives, within 2 years, maybe 1 year, 2 years, they're watching social media, YouTube and Instagram, and most of those videos has been made on smartphones. I'm not talking about the cinema. Cinema is a different thing. I'm talking about the social media videos, which is being shared by people using smartphones. And smartphones today, most of it, unless you interfere with the smartphone itself and change the settings, they shoot on 30 frames per second. They don't shoot on 24 frames per second. So the media, which is the eyes of the new generation are getting used to, is the 30 frames per second. So maybe, and this you might consider it a silly idea by me, maybe Canon, they are thinking that there is no need for the new generation or for the coming generation who wants to upgrade from smartphones to a DSLR or a mirrorless camera as a beginner to use 24 frames because they don't know what is 24 frames for or how does it work, I guess. That's one side. The other side for the same story is the new generation which raised on social media videos. They don't care between 24 and 30. They don't know the difference. And soon they will not even mention the 24, or maybe 24 will be for them old school. Now cinema will remain on 24, and that will be the magic for the cinema, where people will always go to the cinema and say, wow, that movie was amazing, it's magical, it's beautiful, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to social media, smartphones usage, and even TV, the new generation and maybe the generation after, their eyes are getting used to the 30 frames per second. So they won't tell the difference between 30 frames and 24. And maybe also another prediction from Canon, that that the future for the cinema industry will be maybe 30 frames instead of 24, since the media is becoming cheaper to use, the storages, the lights, and all these things. So for them, shifting to 30 frames per second won't be difficult or won't be something hard, as they will follow the trend of a new thing, you know. Because all our life we used to follow the latest technology in everything. So nowadays the latest technology in shooting movies is up to 60, 120, 240 frames. Of course they will not reach to this point of shooting, but what I'm saying is the technology is there. It's just that the only reason they are not using right now is maybe because of the cost, but maybe also because they want to keep the motion blur looks. But thinking of motion blur as well, you can add it in post. If you're using 30 frames per second, it will not make a big difference. Like if you see two videos which has been shot on 24 frames and 30 frames, there is not that much of big difference. The extra smoothness, you can take it out in post. If you feel like in some shots they are extra smooth than the normal, you can take it out in post. Those are only my ideas, those are only my thoughts, so don't judge me for that. It's just my thoughts, because to be honest, I've been thinking for a long time on why Canon, they didn't introduce 24 frames per second in their newly released cameras. It's really a big question mark. And explanations that's been happening on YouTube and on the social media and on the internet in general, it's not enough, it's not convincing. There is something we don't know. Of course Canon, they know, and they don't want to say. So I thought maybe this would be the story about it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if what I said here might be true. I would love to hear your thoughts as well. That's it from my side today. It's a quick video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.